Okay? On the folder so far, I've had you take the tab from the front, put a baseline and a height line to put the type, center it, so the center was the A in the middle name of the last part, and TAKTCH right up there, in a sans serif font. This is the part that opens up. Okay. I've taken the ruler and found the center line, gone up to the top so I get all the way to the edge here. It's at 9, so I went at 4.5, made 2 lines to get the vertical line down the middle, and then divided this part, which was 11 5/8, which becomes, there's 5.5 plus 5/16 to get that center point. Okay. Now I'm going to start off with doing the circle, so I take the compass and the beginning part, and I'm going to make this a 5-inch circle, so I have to put this at 2.5 inches. These two handles open the compass up so I can get the major section up there, and then try to fine-tune it using the circle right here in order to adjust it. So I'm trying to get the lead to be at 2.5, so that's the radius. Okay. So right in the center, just kind of push the compass in. It's a bit of a tagboard here. And I'm going to make this circle, kind of lean the compass in. I'm holding it from the top of it, let it rotate. And I can also lay it back the other direction, just make sure it stays in the point, just to give it a nice even circle so that you can see it right there. Okay? So adjusting these parts, they have the horizontal section, so you need to place that in there. So just keeping the triangle, straight edge ruler, whatever you use, so it goes through the center. Make sure it lines up on your border, because that's going to keep it square, perpendicular. And I'm just going to draw a line. So now I have the center point of each piece. So this is the circumference of the circle from all 4 pieces. I'm just going to do it a capital letter A, C at the top, B over here, and D. So just the capital letters helps you keep it organized, and E is going in the middle, so I'll just put that right in there. Okay? So it says divide it all into these sections, label it A, B, C, D, then divide A and E in half. So this is A and E right here. Divide this in half, and I'm just going to use the compass. I can keep it set, just put a point at A and kind of make an arc above and below it. Okay, so here's the arc above and below it. Keep the compass the same setting. It's almost right at the top there. Happens to be lined up perfectly. And I'm just going to put the ruler right there, line this up, and put a marking right here. So that's the division of those 2 pieces. And so this is going to be just listed as A. So as you look at the directions, place the compass point at A and open it to C to draw this CB arc. So this is where it gets a little tricky. So I have to use that point in order to extend and find the rest of it. So I put the point of the compass here, extend this point, because it's a very slight degree change in there, and just turning just so I can make sure that I hit that graphite right there, and then rotate this down to intersect this piece right there. So I was just looking for that intersection right there. Okay? So it intersects EB, then place the compass on point C. So I'm going to give this a lowercase b right there. Okay? Now it's having you go and swing the compass all the way from the top. So you're using one point to help you find the other. So here's the point at the top of C, right here. You have to extend it just a little bit to get to here. Okay? And once I do that, it's making the mark here. I'll lightly swing this across so you can see it, and makes a mark on this side. So those become the top 2 points of our star, at least as it gets set up there. Okay, so you're swinging that arc. Okay, and extend to rescribe CBD. So here's this part. We're going to give a letter to this. C, B is here, and D is on this side. Okay, so that gives you that section. So then it has extending it to C for the lowercase.
Mr. Sackett, you never moved the picture.
C, sorry, let me do it right now. And then going all the way to the top up here, then I just bring this across and this becomes the next star. Okay, put this one to the right. It's also connected to there. And bring it to there. So now I have these two bottom pieces placed in using the same compass. So that's going to give you this E and the F. So it looks a little confusing, but once you follow it all the way through, sets it up pretty easily. Okay, and now I have these parts of connecting everything together. So when you take a look at the actual section here, it'll show it to you here. So then it's just saying, okay, CE, CF, CD, EF, making the star the final shape. Okay, so just put the point there, line it up to E, and if you've made the star in the old days, just sketching that across, right across. You can actually feel the point of the circle and the compass. Right on there. So trying to keep it somewhat clean on the edge. There gives you the circle. Okay, all set up. There's the compass. Have a little bit of orange paint. Here's the brush. Now the brush is just kind of showing you, these are the parts that have the metal part is the ferrule. This is the brush and the handle, and they're crimped right there to hold all the handle to the brush, the metal, and the ferrule to the hairs of the brush. So you have a couple things. A little bit of water here, just to bring that in there. And see how well you are, those of you that are painting. So just taking the mix of the paint, get a little bit of mix. You can actually mix it and just put the paint right on the drawing, and just go through. This section has a very fine point there, and just get a little practice at being that close on the paint itself. So you actually don't need the palette. You could put the paint right on the center of this if you think you can handle that. So it's just a matter of trying to get as accurate as you can. So the brush itself has a pretty sharp point, and you have the lead, and once you get the paint in there, just kind of smooth it right out there. But it'll give you that edge to it. But if you go right up to that line and just let the brush lean right into the brush, kind of adjust it pretty quickly. If you need more paint, like I said, you could just put the paint right on there, so you don't really need a palette. And just dip it right in there. Take your time, just mix it right on there. Whoop. Got a little on the edge there. And that's just kind of giving you the entire star. So once you get kind of the border, if you did put the paint on the piece, just spread it around. Get some practice at it. It is acrylic, so it does have the plastic polymer base to it. Putting it on a little bit transparent. So it keeps it going in there pretty good. And just kind of you get used to the feathering it out is what this is, just kind of blending the surface of the paint. Just jumped off my edge there, right there. And like I said, have a little bit of paint, you can see the depth of it. And there you go. So it'll give you a little bit of hand in the painting of it. And this part, if you take a straight edge razor, I'll show you that part. I'm going to let it dry first. I can clean that up pretty good just by cutting it right out. You won't even see it. But again, just feather it out. It's somewhat transparent. But there's my star there. And I'll cut that out like I said. Okay?